Welcome back to the channel. If you are preparing for the content development interview, so this video is specially for you. So my name is Nees Maure. I have working with front-end developer for the past 6 years. My core strength is building a scalable, maintainable, and UI application using uh, React responsive design application and now experience with RAS stateful management. So I would like to share with you my all the experience, and also uh, today's topic is daily interview question answer. So I shared you the invite also, so you can see I share with you the mail invite, right, for the daily interview, right. So that will held on 26 March 2024, right. So yeah, that's it. So I would like to start the video. The very first question they ask, function is arrow and JavaScript question. So this is simple question, right. So let's check the output. So what was the output for that, right. So function so is, and that the spread operator parameter pass, right. So what was the type of argument, right. So it always return argument of object type, right. So first is that they, that object is object type, and if you console is the array is argument, right. So it will be always give you true because that is also array also, right. So let's set the object and true, right? Like second question, right. So what was the output of this, right. So you can see, let's guess the output, right. So first of all we let in a 10, right, and b. So what here the output is that con console.log, right. So it will assign that object, right, inner a and this, right. So here the assignment is variable a is equal to b, right. So inner 20, right. And third question is that, so what was the output is this. So that output is, I tell you, you can guess. Let's a is equal to 10, right. Console.log. In that step they give 10, right. And after that you have seen, right, a is equal to 20, right. So it behave as a global context, right. So output for that is 20. Again that is log, right. Console, right. So that is also 20, okay. The 10 20 20, that output, right? So that the concept is there. If you do here also const, right. So same output you get, and here you get one error, assignment is constant, right. So assignment to the constant variable, because a already assigned to 10, right. So in the second step you again assign to that, right. That is constant, so that error you got in the third step. Let's check the fourth question. Okay. So this is a very simple question. right? But there is conceptual question. It is right. So 10 and 10, right? So the compare with value, right? Compare with value. So it will give you false, right? Again false. Compare with 10, it will give you false. So else block will print the output was word, right? So let's check word, right? So fifth question, the simple object type, right? So in that first value is web product test, right? Web product test will print, and second value are then. So let's see, right? More coding here, right? And second adhya, because defined property is second object, right? So it will take only the object to type the new value, it will take, not take the older value. Where product test is not take, right? So it will take a object define new value. So concept is that only the last value of the object letter is applied, right? And earlier ones are ignored, okay? This is because object letter cannot have duplicate key and second value override the first, right? Object key cannot have a like duplicate keys. That the concept we have, right? So the sixth question is the freeze, right? What freeze do? It will freeze the value a, right? So it cannot be changed. So if you print that value, so you got the output is 1, right? Because the value is freeze. And second one, you got the output is 2. So in that one, because here what will they will assign, right? Assign that object, right? So here the assignment is 2, so right, so output is 2. So simple concept is there. And 7% they ask about how to add a single div, and g if and g for, right? In single div, how you add. So approach is was that so simply without adding the other element in the div, how you add the same element ng for ng if also, right? So you need to use the ng container. How you use? So it will does not render the DOM, making useful scenario command. So you can see here I make chunk of code. So ng if condition, and after that same div you can add ng for item, right? So what ng container do? Conditionally render entire block, right? Applied the literal over the item. And approach to is combining both wrapper element, right? Hidden. So let's say we have div, right? ng for conditional element, right? So use of single ng for the 8th question they asked what was the wildcard animation, right? So in the Angular wildcard animation are the features of animation system that allow you to define the animation transition that will not match the specific predefined state, right? They act like catch all mechanism hiding the transition between state and itself. What was used for that? You can define a single animation handle transition between the state and another new state, right? You can fallback animation defining that arbitrary state, right? So the the symbol was used for that animation, right? Star is represent any state, animation is specific state, right? Animation is specific state by, right? So animation between state it will define as this, right? For the example also, imagine you have component that open and close other arbitrary state. If you want to animate the transition even the state not explicitly defined, right? So how you do, right? You can animation hidden animation, right? Box state toggle you can make a button, right? And in that animation box state, right, you can check, right, open and close and transition between, right, open close is out, right? State close and open you define it. So how it work, open to background blue and close this, right? Welcome open any transition open will use the animation transition any open state use for animation, right? So it will clicking toggle between the open and close it define the assigned welcome transition smooth animation. So when to use wildcard animation, when you cannot define all possible state in advance, right? In that scenario you can use when your application support dynamic state data driven state, right? In that scenario you can use when you want to consistent animation regarding the starting end state, right? So in that case you use. So what were advantage of that wildcard animation? Simpler code by avoiding need or access to define every possible transition, provide a fallback unexpected dynamic state, and enhance the visibility animation handle. So best practices was that you use a wildcard springly to avoid unedited animation, right? Combine a specific transition and wildcard transition for better control and test thought then show the animation work as expected in all transition. The fourth, fourth question is they ask remove duplicate from the sorted area, right? So what was the output for that? Yeah. So you need to make code like that. I write here. Let's run. Let's call this function. In that you in array one, right? It will give it to output as expected, right? Let's say array become 1 and 2. It will remove that element, right? So that the simple logic. First of all, initialize with 0 and make a for loop from j starting with 1, right? Length num is with less than 13 and compare with num of j index. So and iterate I plus 1, right? I compare and return I plus 1, right? So it will that those are not equal you can remove that, right? So that's the simple change. And same question they ask to implement logic for displaying 10 record as per the page, deleting specific record for the 46 record while the maintaining pagination you can use, right? So how you can use that, right? So you can make a service for that how to handle, right? the service data as a private, your like length of the array, right, record, to get record, right, to delete record. Here you can make that services, and there is the HTML page. Similarly, the page size is 10, so you need to make 10 total number of pages, right? You need to define and data services you use, right? So you can load at the time of loading, you can maintain the total page, right? And while the updating the page, you can use the this document management, this dot page, right? Page lookup, right? While the changing of page, you can make this function, and you can in the change you can call the update pagination, right? While deleting the record, you can use this. So this is that. And they ask a question is the what was the DI nothing but is the, in all my video I also explain this dependency injection, right? This is that is a design pattern of achieving a version control IOC, right? It enables the dependencies such as services other component into class rather than in creating that manually, right? This approach promotes the modularity testing and maintenance of the code, right? So the key concept of AI provider, right? Injector, what was the provider, define and create supply dependency, what the building provider, allow you to create the custom provide injector mechanism to the response the instating and providing dependency. It look out dependencies that provide the configuration. And third one is the dependency, the service object in classes component requirement, and how you register, right? Register the provider injector module, right? It is dependency, it is the constructor, resolve the dependency, right? So like that you can make use that here, and that is an example for the. So what was the benefit of the like PI? Reusability, testability, flexibility, simple code, right? That's the benefit of that. Example of the factory provider. So this is the example for that. This is a service for that. How you retrieve the data. They fourth question they ask behavior subject, right? So what was the behavior subject? Behavior subject say the services allowed the data change, receive, update the real time set data, right? Get data. In behavior it will take initial value, right? So immediate behavior subject share that the clean approach and reusable component. Okay, so that's it. So you can also know your like Angular view encapsulation and content projection, right? So they also ask this question, right? Angular approach apply the encapsulation like share to ensure that of the child component not leak into the parent component, vice versa, right? So how content projection allow the parents to inject still like into projected content, making flexible and customizable. So this is mostly asked what was the content projection view, Angular view encapsulation, right? So benefit of content projection is reusability, right? Simple creating highly reusable flexible component. And decoupling logic components. For decoupling means there is loose coupling in between the component, right? So there is no, like less dependency. Customization allow the parents component have full control over the content, right? So use case of the custom model develop, right? Display dynamic content inside the useful model, right? In that case you can use content provision. Card component, creating component where have the body and footer customizable, right? In that case, just like that footer content always in that case you can use the tab. In the tab you can see the tab also. If you creating any the tab name was always same, right? And you can add the customization tab. In that case you can use like implement each tab the content dynamic content. In that case you can use the largely use the content projection, right? In Angular. And you can use a reusable wrapper, right? So make a single content slot projection, right? You can use ng content directive single slot child component, and you can use that component into parents components. And there is multiple content projection, you can multiple slot. In that case how you use select the slot and header, right? Main plot content, right? Here and footer part. And you can use the multiple content slot, right? The slot header one, main content, footer part, conditionally content projection you can do. So that's it from my side. I hope you like that video. If you really like that, please like and subscribe that channel. Please like and subscribe that channel. Thanks.